Greetings, Brother Blacklight here for my black folks only. You know, you got Polite and not so much as Polite, but as Seti and young Pharaoh. You know, they think they powerful because they got a little following, and you know they said some things about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But if it wasn't for the Nation of Islam, especially here in Detroit, no telling what it'd be like nowadays. But I ran across this video of this brother, and I co-signed what this brother is saying about all these new school brothers running off at the mouth. Y'all think y'all got courage. Y'all think y'all followers got courage. The police is shooting our brothers and sisters down, dead, anytime they get ready. But y'all didn't stand up like these brothers. Now we gonna get right into it, then I'm gonna comment afterwards. And again, this is Detroit, Michigan. And these are Detroit police. You don't see no brothers on the force back then.
Peace. I'm making this video about the 500 Muslims who went down to the Detroit Police Department in 1934. Because we have a lot of people these days who try to criticize the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you have people who come at the Nation of Islam in many different ways. But one of the ways that they come at the nation is they try to make it seem like Malcolm X attracted all of these people to the nation, and that the Nation of Islam was like he was some powerful leader in the Nation of Islam, and without Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam would be nothing. Then you have those who try to criticize Master Pharaoh Muhammad with these FBI files. But let's look at it, brothers and sisters. Because this incident that the Muslims had with the Detroit Police Department, you can find this on the Detroit News website, which is DetroitNews.com. And I will post the link so you can read this for yourself. And we'll see that in 1934, long before Malcolm X, we had 500 Muslims go down and have to check the Detroit police. Let's look at it, brothers and sisters. Now this comes from the Detroit News website. It says a headquarters and school set up on Hastings Street was raided by police and Detroit school officials on April 16, 1934. Several members were arrested and held. They were charged with contributing to the delinquency of minors by withdrawing children from the public schools and teaching subversive doctrines. This is the good part. It says the next day, 500 nation members marched to the police headquarters to see those who were arrested. They were met by Detroit police. Then it says the fight erupted when a police inspector was knocked down and a police squad went to his aid. 150 police using batons joined the clash that lasted 10 minutes. It says 12 police were injured with cuts and bruises. 100 were arrested. Then another sweet spot. It says there was no report of marchers injured. Now, when it talks about these 12 police who were injured with cuts and bruises, we'll give the devils the benefit of the doubt, because I believe it was probably more than 12 who got injured. If 150 of these devils came out and it was 500 Muslims, it was probably more than 12 of those devils that got cuts and bruises. But we'll overlook that. You know what I'm saying? The main thing is when it says there was no report of marchers injured. That's the main thing. But then we get to another sweet spot in this report when we get to the 29 brothers who was in court being tried on these charges. It says that this picture is on April the 22nd, 1934 in Recorder's Court. It says that these brothers was asked to raise their right hands to be sworn. The defendant stretched out arms with palms up and said, "We swear only by the one true God, Allah." So we all know, once again, that the Allah that these brothers is talking about is Master Pharaoh Muhammad. So I gave in another video an example of the Nation of Islam in 19...
I want to pause it right here. I want you to look closely at the features of Master Pharaoh Muhammad. Then when you get a chance, compare this Master Pharaoh Muhammad with the one they say is Master Pharaoh. I think his name was Wallace Ford, who was a convict. They resemble a little, but if you look at the features, this man's features here, Master Pharaoh, W.D. Pharaoh, don't look nothing like when you compare them close side by side. Look at them features good. Take a picture of it. Let's continue.
1965 with Brother Shoemate, who also gave praise to Allah for his incident that he had with Carlos Gambino's Mafia family. He gave praises to Allah. Then we see in 1934 when these brothers, these 29 brothers being tried in court, they also gave praises to no one but Allah. So this is the type of stuff that I want Anton Beatty and other people who try to come out against the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and his teachings to explain this. Because we see that when people talk about the Nation of Islam didn't have a whole lot of people in it until Minister Malcolm X came on the scene. And we see that in this incident that's reported by the Detroit News, there was at least 500 Muslims in Detroit, at least. And we don't know how many Muslims they arrested that they was coming down there to check on. So all of this stuff that they try to make it seem like Malcolm X came and then all of these brothers just started joining, that's a bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? The Nation of Islam is what it is because of the messenger. It's not what it is because of Malcolm X. Malcolm X was just another minister that the messenger taught. But we got way more incidents that the Nation of Islam had where the F.O.I was victorious over the police department in that city. And I will continue to keep coming out with more and more videos showing this. So until next time, brothers and sisters, peace.
Yeah, so I got a lot I want to say about about brothers like especially Pharaoh and Seti doing all that running off at the mouth. Seti live here in Detroit. He ain't never done nothing spectacular like that. He spoke once at the Detroit Common Council about vending, but it didn't do no good because, you know, he didn't make enough noise. But you know, y'all wanna listen to that brother, give him y'all money, be a sucker. But I'm gonna say more about it in a later date. Black Light.